Good morning, students. So today we will study the fund flow statement, or fund flow analysis. So here, fund meaning of fund. First of all, we will see the meaning of fund. So meaning of fund is defined by in different ways. So as cash or as total current assets. So here the term fund is defined as cash or total current assets. So as net current asset or net working capital, but for the purpose of fund flow statement, the term fund means net current assets or net working capital. So here the meaning of fund is derived or defined as a cash or total current assets, and it is also known as a net current asset or net working capital. Here net current assets means the current assets, and the working capital means it is current assets minus current liabilities. But for the purpose of fund flow statement, for the preparation of fund flow statement, the term fund means it is a net current assets or net working capital. So here like this we start the fund flow statement. First of all, we have seen the meaning of fund. Meaning of fund means a fund is derived or defined as a cash or total net current assets. But to study the fund flow statement, the fund is defined as net current assets or net working capital. Net working capital. So next one here, meaning of fund flow statement. So here this chapter is fund flow statement only. So now after knowing the meaning of fund, now it is time to know what do you mean by fund flow statement. So here it is a statement providing necessary information about the changes in the financial condition of business concern between two periods. Here the fund flow statement is defined as it provides the information about changes in the financial condition of a business between two periods. Here between two different periods, what is the change, what changes taking place in the firm in the financial conditions. So here how the financial condition of a firm it changes between two periods. This statement provides information or expresses, it states how the fund flow into the business and how they flow out of the business. So here how the funds comes in the business and how it goes out the business. So fund flow statement is also called as the statement of changes in financial position, and the fund flow statement is also called as it is a statement of changes in the financial position. So Robert Anthony defines the fund flow statement describes the sources from which additional funds were derived and the uses to which these funds were put. And same way the Smith and Brown defines the fund flow statement as prepared in the summary form. It is in the summary form and which additional funds were derived, it is prepared in the summary form, and it indicates the changes occurring in the financial condition of a business between the two different balance sheet dates, means two different years or two different balance sheets of a same company. So like this, the fund flow statement is a statement which indicates or tells about the changes in the financial position of a business between two different periods. So same way the different terms used for the fund flow statement. So there are many different names are for the fund flow statement. A statement of source and application of funds. So here it is a statement of source. Source means the amount, the sources are the what the sources like share capital. So all these or sources, and application means for the purpose of purchase we are using the fund. So that it is a statement which shows one side sources and one side application of funds, and it is a fund statement. It is also known as fund statement, and it is also known as statement of sources and application of funds repetition. So same way the process will be repeated, so therefore it is also called as this statement of sources and application of funds repetition. And statement of funds provided and applied, so funds collected or provided and applied. And statement of supplied and applied, same as statement of resources provided and applied. Statement of funds received and dispersed, where got the where gone statement. So here the fund flow statement is having many different names. So here the different types of names we have seen here. Now how, and also many other names are also there. How come, where gone statement, a statement of sources and application of working capital, movement of working capital statement, fund movement statement, inflow and outflow of the fund statement, inflow and outflow. So means how the cash comes in and cash goes out, it tells about that also. Fund movement statement, how the funds are used and how they are received, and that is the movement of the funds is also studied under this heading, the fund flow statement. And inflow and outflow of the fund statement, a statement of derivation and disposition of the means of operation. So here these are some of the important names which are given to the fund flow statement. Now it is time to study the objectives of fund flow statement. So here first objective is to help in analyzing the financial operation of an enterprise and decision making. Here the fund flow statement helps in analyzing the financial position, financial operation or a financial position of enterprise, and also the decision making. It helps in decision making, and to know how the expansion of the business has been financed. So here how the business has been expanded and how it is financed. Like these informations will get from fund flow statement to know whether funds have been used productively or whether the funds which are sources which are used whether they are used in a productive manner or not, it will tell. To point out the financial strength and weakness of the business. So here fund flow statement also it will define the strength and the weakness of the business, to help in formulating dividend policies. So it helps in formulating or preparation of the dividend policies and planning financial reorganization, to inform as to how the loans to the business have been used. Here how the loans have been used in the business, this the fund flow statement will tells. To supplement conventional financial statement. So like this, so these are some of the important objectives of the fund flow statement. Next one is advantages of fund flow statement. It gives us information about how the funds are collected and how they are used. So here the fund flow statement is very advantageous for us or for the firm. It tells about the information about how the funds are raised and how they are collected and how they are used in the business. It helps in analyzing the changes taking place in working capital position during the particular period. It tells about the how the changes in working capital will takes place. It helps in measuring the efficiency in the utilization of funds. It helps to measure the efficiency of the business in utilization of funds. It helps in making the financial decisions. It helps in estimating the future working capital requirements. So here it helps to know about the what is the working capital required in the future, and it helps in locating the ideal funds. It helps for better control over the financial activities of the firm by comparing with the budget figures. So here by comparing the budget figures means between the 2 years or the 2 periods, it will helps to know the better control over the financial activities. So these are the things which the advantage, these are some advantages of fund flow statement. So there are some limitations of fund flow statement. So here limitations means one is profit ascertained is not correct because it does not include non-cash items. So here the profit which is ascertained at the end is not correct because it does not include non-cash items. So it will not include any non-cash items. It is historical in nature about information contained in the fund flow statement, so it does not provide any basis for the future. Here it is based on the historical, means the last year balance sheet is compared with this current year. So here this fund flow statement is depends upon the historical in nature, therefore it cannot provide any basis for the future plannings or future decisions. The fund flow statement does not contain any original information because figures are extracted from financial statement, so it is nothing but rearrangement of the data contained in the profit and loss account and the balance sheet. So here the management by manipulating the working capital position. So these are some of the limitations of fund flow statement. So now we will study some of the sources of funds, because these sources of funds are very important to study the working capital or to know the fund flow statement or to prepare fund flow statement. Here the transactions which are results in an increase in the amount of fund or working capital are called sources of funds. So following are the sources of fund: fund from operations, operating profit or trading profit. So here funds from operation or operating profit is a source of income. Non-operating incomes, refund of income tax. So if there is any income tax which is refunded, so such is an income or the source. Issue of shares for cash or for any other current assets. Issue of debentures for cash. Long term and medium term loans borrowed. Long term and medium term deposits accepted. Sale of long term investment for cash or for any other current assets. Sale of fixed assets for cash or for any other current assets. So here sources of funds means whatever the amount received from the, it may be issue of shares, it may be sale of asset or anything, so or any borrowings from the bank or lenders, etc. These are the sources of the funds. Here if the amount or cash comes in the business, it is from any source. Such source is called as source of fund. So here uses of funds or uses of working capital, application of funds. So here now we have seen what are the sources of funds. Now we have to study what are the applications or uses of funds. So first of all we will see, so fund lost in operation or operating loss. So here any funds lost in the operation, so here such fund is called as application of fund. Non-operating expenses, redemption of redeemable preference shares or repayment of preference share capital. Redemption of debentures in cash, any repayment of debentures in cash or in any current assets. Repayment of long term and medium term loans in cash or any other current assets. So these are the some of the which amount repaid, means the cash goes out from the or flow out from the business. So such flowing out of the business are called as application of funds. So repayment of long term and medium term deposits in cash or in any other current assets. Next, purchase of long term investments in cash or in any other current assets. Purchase of fixed assets for cash, drawings. So here if any amount goes out from the business, such thing is called as application of funds. So if any cash comes in, it is called as a source of fund. So therefore here the sources of funds and application of funds, these are the two important aspects to for the preparation of this fund flow statement. And by preparing the fund flow statement, one can come to know about what is the changes taken place in the working capital of a business. So therefore to know the changes in the working capital of a business, here this fund flow statement is prepared. So this is about the theoretical aspect of fund flow statement. So in this session we have seen what do you mean by fund and what do you mean by fund flow and what are the uses and advantages, disadvantages, and also what are the sources of funds and what are the application of funds we have seen. So here I hope you all understood. Thank you.